Hello, welcome, and welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey. So, it's April. These messages really are, kind of whenever you see them, but I do tend to do them at least monthly. So this month we're using the Work Your Light Oracle deck, and then we're using the Wandering Moon Tarot for additional information. We'll get an Oracle card for the overall vibe, and then of course pull 6 tarot cards and see what the vibe is. I have my little bowl here of all of the zodiac, all of the human design profile numbers. I'm just gonna pick one. Let's see. Who's next? Pisces. Beautiful. Let's see. So how's it going having Saturn in Pisces? Hasn't been there that long, so may not really feel the effects of it, but that was one of those big transits that happened in March. Obviously, it would depend on what Pisces is for you. If it's your rising sign, then it would be your first house. If it's your sun or moon, then it would be in some house. Keepers of the Earth. It's so, okay. It's so interesting to me because so far today I've done Aries and Aquarius. And they had a different card, but in that card, it also said you are not alone, or you don't have to do it alone. So it's always just so interesting to me, like when a theme pops out, and it's not me that's creating this theme, right? It's something that, and maybe you have significant Aquarius placements, maybe you have a significant Aries placement, you might or might not, but I just find that to be interesting. But this says, Keepers of the Earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. I love that. And we're just going to get the rest of the cards out. And then we'll go into it. Okay. We have the Seven of Moons, or the Seven of Cups. The Ten of Moons, or the Ten of Cups. Seven of Wands, with 2 sevens so far. Page of Cups. Judgment and the Sun. Beautiful. Wow. And then the Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. I want to read from the book for that card. It says, let me hold this up so you can look at this and I'll read. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. You are so supported. You do not stand alone. You have a magnificent team of helpers, both in this world and of the earth, who are here to help you at every step of the way. Call upon them for assistance. They are here to help. The keepers of the earth acknowledge the work that you have done already and are ready to work through you. They bow at your feet and thank you for wanting to stand with them, to devote your life to protecting Earth in your unique way. It is time to increase your capacity to receive support in the physical realm. This can come in the form of financial abundance, acts of service from strangers, or people flocking to help you and your work. The only thing that is stopping you right now is your capacity to receive support. You deserve to be rewarded for the work that you are doing. You do not need to go it alone. Call upon the keepers of the earth to help you and your mission. Open your heart and your mind to receive more than you ever thought possible. What kind of support do you need? Call it in right now. And then it has a work your light activation, and it says hold the card on your heart, which you can't do, but just set the intention, maybe put your hand or hands at your heart center and say, I am open to receiving a whole new level of support for my life and my work. And I call it in now. Include any other specific request here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that. And that's why whenever I get like the inkling to read from the book, I do it because I think that's beautiful. And I also love that in this card, there's, you know, the spirit of a person here. It looks like an older woman. So, I mean, it could be a grandmother, it could be an aunt, it could be a mother. But then there's animals around here too. There's an eagle, there's a wolf, elephant, a lion, maybe lioness. And maybe you might see one of those symbols. Like maybe you would see a picture or a video or something of an eagle or a wolf or an elephant or, a lioness. And if or when you do see something like that, Google the totem message for it. Just put in, elephant totem message or eagle totem message and see what it says. Because it might just be, obviously like a message that you need to hear at that time. So we start with the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups talks about options. Cups having to do with our emotions. There's 3 cups cards out here, which is very Piscean energy, right? With you being a water sign. But the Seven of Cups is almost like, reviewing the options that are available to us. It's still very much about like our emotions. So what are we attached to emotionally? I always kind of say like the Marie Kondo effect with the Seven of Cups, because it's like, if it doesn't make you feel good, if it doesn't bring you joy, if it's not something that you absolutely love doing, then it needs to go. It could be, it needs to go forever, or it just needs to be, like stick a pin in it for the time being. Because there also comes this, daydreamy or imagination type thing. But if we like kind of allow ourselves to get either lost or stuck in that, to the point where we're not making a decision. And it's fine to take your time making a decision, especially if you are weighing each one of those cups, right? Like if you're going through each one of those cups and saying, like, does this stay or does this go? Then yeah, sure. That is going to take a bit of time to work through, because then, like we move on to the Eight of Cups, which I know isn't out here, but with the Eight of Cups, that is recognizing the time to move on. So, in order to get there, you do have to go through the Seven of Cups. So, there could be options coming into you, there could be options showing themselves to you. You could be creating different options in any area of your life. Obviously, it would depend on your situation. But there is also this message about, keeping your feet on the ground, like still remaining grounded so that you don't get overwhelmed by the amount of options. And I keep kind of hearing in my head, and then I forget, and then so anyway, that if our attention is spread too thin, if our attention is spread out to too many different things, then it's we can't give the appropriate attention, the appropriate affection even to one thing in order to see that to its full potential. And we have the Page of Moons here. So it's interesting that there's 7 moons here, and then there's 1 in the Page of Moons. And the Page of Cups is, it's imagination and creativity, and their pages generally bring in messages too. So there could be a message coming into you. There could be a message that you are providing some sort of communication. Again, with it being cups, it's going to have something that is going to affect the way that we feel. It's something that we love. And with the Page of Cups, I always go back to the possibilities are limited by our capacity for imagination. That's not the actual quote though. What is the actual? Maybe I'm just not meant to say that. The actual quote, because it does have something that we're limited by our imagination, or we can be. So with the Page of Cups, it's they'll just start trying stuff and really allowing that creativity to flow through imagination, allowing their imagination to expand, almost kind of having that childlike wonder about them, because it is a page. So it is, the younger energy. So it's when you first start a creative project, or when you first are trying to manifest something, it's the having the beginner's mindset. So this together, it's choose one. Choose one. And focus on it. Let that be your muse, or let that be the one thing that you pour all of your love and your attention into, whatever it is. If it's a project, a relationship, your job, yourself, even, of course, do that first. And, the Seven of Cups could be happening because, there are, maybe you have the mindset of having to do a lot of different things yourself, which is why this card would have come out. It's also interesting that the Keepers of the Earth is the only card that mentions anything about Earth on this table. So I feel this is just it's literally grounding this whole reading. And then the Ten of Cups is about family. It's happy home, happy life. The Ten of Cups is literally the minor arcana to the Sun card. So I absolutely love that both of these cards are out here on the table. But the 10 is also a completion. So when we get to the 10, it's, we've gone through the whole journey from the Ace through the 10. And we're at this place where we can share our joy, our affection, with other people, whether that's, your biological family, your chosen family, your job, right? Like wherever you work, your community, your network. But it's like everybody's cup is full. Everybody feels purposeful. Everybody feels fulfilled. And again, it has this like one at a time thing, focusing on one thing at a time, like bringing down one of these cups at a time, like really pouring all of your energy into that one cup until it reaches a place of fulfillment, or like whatever the energy is of that thing, you fulfill the energy of that thing, and you can then move on to the next thing until all of the things and maybe that, and there are other people generally involved with the 10 of cups, so that could be asking for help, that could be in this realm or the spirit realm. I think it was saying the earth of the earth, so same-ish kind of thing. It could even be delegating, taking some of these things off of your plate and delegating them. And then we have this judgment card, and judgment, I think judgment comes right after the sun, actually. So it's interesting that they're like backwards. Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, there's nothing bad. But judgment is about transformation. It's the card that comes after the sun, but before the world. And the world is the completion of a cycle. But again, in order to complete a cycle, this transformation has to occur. There's some sort of, through the journey from the Fool to the Judgment card, you've picked up all these experiences, like you've gained some, you've lost some, there's real transformation that has happened. Like if you really kind of sat down and allowed yourself to think about it, you would be like, wow, like me today is so much different than me, like a month ago even, or a year ago, whatever, pertaining to whatever the situation is. And the Judgment card is like making a conscious decision to like commit to a thing. This could change like how you interact in your community or your family. If this is an opportunity coming in, it would, like affect your family, your, and again, that can be biological, it could be chosen. It can affect the way that you work, because there is some level of change, like ascension happening here, like, growth, right? And this could even be some level of emotional maturity. And then we have the Seven of Wands, which is, it's the card of like standing your ground, being a bit defensive, but it's defending what you're doing, literally, because wands are action, communication, again with creativity and passion. It's fire, right? So it's about our motivations and why we're doing what we're doing, but it's taking actionable steps towards a goal. And when we get to the Seven of Wands, traditionally, the picture is, there's one figure holding a wand in a defensive stance, looking like they're having to like fight off the 6 wands that are, kind of coming at them. And I see that as being other people's projections of their fears, their doubts, the reasons why they wouldn't do something, so you shouldn't either, you know? And you're just standing there like, I didn't even ask. But also, I'm the one, like, this is my life, right? Like, I'm the one that's going to be making these decisions. And before I forget, because I'm trying to get better at this, speaking of, you are not alone. But if you haven't done so already, I would love if you liked the video. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment, even if it's just an emoji. I love emojis. So it helps your girl out in the algorithm. I have not figured that out yet, but that's okay. So speaking of growth too, like your girl is trying to grow. All right, back to you. So this always, like, it goes back to like remembering your why. Why are you doing the stuff that you are doing? Like, how did you get to where you are? And where do you even want to go from there? Like I said, we have 2 sevens on the table. And sevens to me, especially in the tarot, there is this level, like when you get to the 7, it is this thing about committing. Like, you're already at the 7, right? So you're closer to the 10 than you are to the 1. So catch a breath, you know, but also refocus your energy into whatever you're doing. Don't lose sight of the goal, right? You're already at the point of, you know, kind of looking at everything, weighing your options. Again, like I was saying, you know, what stays, what goes, you're already there. So just go through that, right? Like, commit to going through that. And with the 7 of Wands, you've already tried all of these different things. You've already picked up all this wisdom and this information along the way. And now it's like holding on to that vision. And I love that it's paired with the Sun card, because that would be the vision, right? For most people, because like I said, the Sun card is like the happiest card in the deck. It's like it's bliss. It's joy. It's, you know, literal life, because we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't even be able to survive without the sun, right? This could even have something to do with summer coming up. You could have some plans, be trying to like get something going this summer. But also how it looks like there's this like brick wall here, right? That had to be like kind of busted through in order for us to be able to see the sun. And again, with these 2 paired together, you might have to like put a little bit more oomph into what you're doing once you get to a certain point. And do that. Put that oomph into it. Because, you know, like the sun is like literally on the other side of this whole thing. And then we have the Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck, another page. So this could, you know, like with 2 pages around here, is definitely something newish that you're doing. It may not be like super duper new or like out of the blue or anything like that, but it definitely has like a beginner's type of mindset to it. And the Page of Wands is enthusiastic. Like, you know, they'll try anything once. They want to have fun. Of course, even just remembering the fun aspect into whatever you're doing. But this is also like adventurous and enthusiastic. The 6 of Swords. This is like a shift in mindset. Swords have to do with our thoughts. it's truth, it's honesty, but it's, how we perceive our realities. What are the thoughts that we're allowing in? It's ego also, because it's generally where we hear our ego is in our minds. And our ego is created by the stories that we've attached to experiences, whether they're correct or not, right? And with the Six of Swords, there we can see them walking off, right? Like, it is going to take a mindset shift. And that mindset could be finding that fun element, like allowing yourself to see something as an adventure. Getting really honest about the situation too, since like I said with swords, it is about truth and honesty. And then we have the Knight of Moons. So we have this progression from the page to the Knight, and this is an offer. Generally or traditionally, the Knight of Cups is like that knight in shining armor. And of course it can be romantic. It doesn't have to be, but it's just like your dream job, your dream, life, your dream whatever, right? But it has that like knight in shining armor quality to it, where it's like dreamy. And again, with the moons being about our heart center, it's going to be something that you love. It's going to be something that fills your cup. And again, like this could be an offer coming into you, or it could be you offering something to somebody else or to the collective, something with work. Oh my gosh, we have the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. That is exactly, okay. Didn't I just say like your dream job or dream, lifestyle or whatever? Like this is the dream coming in with the Nine of Cups. Temperance is just, again, with the patience element. I feel like I said that at some point, but temperance is the blending or like the melding of energies. I always like go back to chocolate with the temperance card, because there are specific steps that you have to do in order to temper chocolate correctly, right? And you have to go through each one of those steps. Otherwise, if you try to rush through or skip them, it could totally just ruin the chocolate. You're going to have to go back to the beginning. So this is a card that talks about patience and alchemy. So things are definitely changing, even if you don't see them yet. But whatever this offer is, or whatever this is that comes in, it would be something that changes an aspect of your life. Things start moving really fast. Holy crap. We have the Star card behind the Chariot, which is about faith, hope, trusting the process, being the center of attention. Also, it's a card of Aquarius. Chariot is Cancer. Temperance is Sagittarius. The Sun is Leo, and Judgment is something I can't think of. But in any case, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.